I'm very pleased that ETTelecom is organizing the 5G Congress. There is, of course, unanimity across the globe that 5G will be a transformational evolution in mankind's quest for faster data speeds. And India, of course, as one of the largest data consumers, must not be left behind in this evolution. I think the big question which India has to answer is whether we want 5G to be a niche product confined to some large cities and some very rich customers, or we want it really to become a mass product. It has often been argued that there are not enough use cases for mass application, but I believe that's more a chicken and egg problem, because once you provide 5G, use cases will emerge. And to my mind, two very obvious mass use cases are, first of all, of course, mobile, because the need for customers to have higher data speeds on the go is very much there. We need much faster speeds going forward than we get on 4G. And the second big use case is, of course, fixed wireless broadband. And the need for fixed wireless broadband, especially at home, is evident from the recent pandemic. So use cases will emerge. There will be a plethora of other use cases. So I don't think we should worry too much about mass use cases. They will definitely emerge. Now, the three prerequisites to my mind for successful 5G penetration in India will be coverage, affordability, and the infrastructure that needs to be created for 5G to be a success. Now, for all of these, as you know, the basic problem to my mind is the spectrum price. The reserve price as it is provided today is just too high to enable 5G to be a success. Now, it is also a little surprising that while our digital communication policy adopted by the union government clearly states that revenue maximization is not the aim, but the deep penetration of broadband is, there is no justification why the reserve price should be so high. It is clear that as per Supreme Court, these airwaves will need to be auctioned, but let the price be discovered in the auction. The reserve price needs to really come down. It is also important that this time ample spectrum is provided. I would say at least 100 megahertz to each operator, so that the networks are built in an optimal manner, as has not been the case so far. So there are two ways to my mind to tackle this spectrum pricing problem. Either lower the reserve price and let the auctions determine what the fair value would be, or have a moderate reserve price, but then waive or recover a part of the bid amount linked to the rollout in the tier 2 and tier 3 and rural sector. I think the recovery can be made out of the USO fund, because that's what the fund is meant for. This would, to my mind, attain twin objectives. One, affordable service where the TSPs can invest more in networks and not in spectrum. And two, it will ensure that those who meet the rollout obligations in time are incentivized, and vice versa. So this is something which I would urge the government to seriously consider. On infrastructure, I think DOT has done a lot of work on the ROW policy, but I think some more work needs to be done by the states. And I'm really thankful to DOT that this is one area where there is ample support from DOT, and TAIPA and the operators are working very closely with them. The other area which would enable fast rollout of 5G will be sharing of infrastructure. And for that, I think the scope of IP1s should be extended. Of course, with the condition that they can only provide service to licensed operators and not directly to the customer. One aspect which I think I have to touch upon when we talk of 5G is the general health of telecom industry. Because unless the financial health of this sector is addressed, there is no way we can have a very successful 5G rollout. And one burning need for that, obviously, is the rationalization of tariffs. The tariffs have got to go up. And I feel that if for some reason the industry cannot agree to do that for competitive or whatever reasons, I think the government would need to intervene. And perhaps it's time to seriously consider introduction of the floor prices. I think it is important because it's not about just the financial health of individual companies, but the financial health of a very, very vital sector in India, the telecom sector, on which the digital India dream and inclusive India dream is clearly, rest. They can be a big catalyst in fulfilling these two aspects. I have no doubt that in times to come, India could emerge as a major force in 5G ecosystem. But I think this time we need to really get it right from day one. Thank you.